Okay, here we are at Imola for this San Marinese Grand Prix. We've got Josh on pole, Alex in second, Steven third, Michael fourth, Alba fifth, Daniel sixth, Will seventh. 4 lights, 5 lights. Bit of a long hold. And away we go here at Imola. Decent start there. And there's contact down into turn 1. There is contact down into turn 1. It looks like Alba hits both of the Think Again cars. Here we'll see it from Alba's perspective. Gets an okay start. And just gets outbraked. Just hits the two Think Again cars, sending them both wide. Going through herself. Here you see it from Michael's perspective. He gets a pretty good start there, getting past Steven. Avoids Alba twice there. Very impressive. Here you see Alex. Gets a very good drive down into the first corner. Just gets hit and bumped wide. Comes back on in 8th. Steven coming back on right at the back of the pack in 22nd. So we've got Josh leading, Michael second, Alba third, Daniel fourth. Will, Jess, George, Alex, Chris and Ema make up the top 10. Now Michael challenging Josh for the lead, the two Affiniers battling. Keir looking to overtake Lyra in the Racing Disappoint, who is once again the only Racing Disappoint running after Matt failed to qualify. Seems to slot back in there. Now Alex looking to climb back up the pack. And George goes wide. George has gone wide. And Alex has gone through. And in fact has gone down to 10th. However, after himself going wide. Here we see Daniel, who also went wide at that same spot and gave up 6th place. Now trying to hold off the advances of George, Chris and Ema. And Lyra has already stopped. Lyra has stopped at the side of the track. No points here for Racing Disappoint. Almost living up to their name this season. Now Josh and Michael still battling for first in the Affiniers. Now Keir looking to drive at the inside of Chris. Does so quite handily. Circular Motors having very good race pace. Two Affiniers still battling, but Michael has gone wide. Michael has gone wide. Alba possibly looking to capitalise here. As indeed are Will and Jess. Here you see a replay of that. Oh! Michael, indeed, overcuts the corner. And drops down to 5th place there. Chris doing the same. Chris has done the same. And loses a place to the Jeff there. Now Amy, trying to go up the inside. Does not do so. Will challenging Alba for 2nd place here. Decent start for the Frozen Light, who have not had good fortunes this season. Mary in the unnamed team goes really quite wide. Already running in last place. Alba being challenged for 2nd once again. You feel the Frozen Light doesn't quite have the race pace they'd expect this season. Daniel as well holding out, and Daniel has gone wide. Daniel has gone very wide. Someone else seems to be following him there. Indeed, it's Chris following Daniel off the track. So it just seemed to lock up, and then once you get on that advertising, it's just so slippery that you just slide out. You see Steven trying to overtake Saskia, of course the Sabs team in their first ever Formula Y race. Qualifying at their first attempt. Oh, Will has gone very wide here. And is facing precisely the wrong direction. Maybe looks like he got a touch up the back there from Jess. So it's just watching everyone go past now in his mirrors. Will likely come out to 20th ahead of Mary. This is a disaster for the Cycling Motors team. Indeed, he does come out 20th. Now here we see Amy going off exactly the same place Daniel and Chris just did. As soon as you hit that white, you just slide out and then have to come a long way back. Indeed, there goes Daniel again, along with Peter of the Dwarfer. Daniel needs to learn to take less speed into that corner if he wishes to stay ahead. Indeed, he blocks Will, as Will is trying to make his way back up after his previous spin. They're now battling here. Alba in second. Locks up and runs wide. Drops down to 4th. And Michael looking to capitalise on this and trying to take second from Jess. And Alba goes off at the same place as Daniel did. Frozen Lights just not having a game plan for that corner and running way too wide. She seems to be rubbing up against the wall. That may lose her a lot of places, likely out of the points. Indeed, it does take her out of the points. Rejoining the track in 12th position. And Matty in the Jeff car just drives straight past. Chris in the Cheetah Racing looks to do the same, and does so. Saskia and the Sabs. Another one running wide at the same corner. And Daniel going off for the 3rd time in 3 or 4 laps. When will this man learn? Will runs very wide there on the chicane, as does Saskia behind him. A lot of cars running wide here at Imola today. Now here we see the first round of pit stops quite early on. Only 7 laps in. They've got to feel that the fresh tyres will get them have that much of an advantage. Stephen trying in the think again, having climbed all the way up to 9th, having dropped down to 22nd after the first corner, trying to overtake Gabrielle, who is indeed in her first race. George now pitting from 3rd. Should be an indicator of how packed up the pack are. .7, not the fastest pit stop, but definitely not the slowest we've seen this season. Stephen again trying to get past Gabrielle, but Gabrielle holds the inside line. Stephen must be getting frustrated at this. The Sabs team, having just entered the race for the first time today, doing incredibly well. Now Michael has caught up to the both of them in the Affroniere. And Gabrielle goes wide, but manages to hold it on the track, unlike a lot of the team cars we've just seen. Josh still leading in the Affroniere, seemingly having overtaken Mary. Or lapped Mary, sorry. Alba now pitting from 13th, having been second for so long. Kieran and Chris battling for 11th position. Now Charlie up in 5th place in the Jeff. Now 6th as he gets overtaken by Anthony of the Cheetah Racing. Speaking of Cheetah Racing, Chris here defending from Keir. Both nicely through, but Keir gets the better drive, it seems. And going up the hill into the corner, Keir does take 11th spot. Stephen and Michael still battling for 7th. Alba going off again on that corner. The frozen lights just making this a habit, and it's not a good habit to be in. Oh, lock up from Stephen and he goes wide. Gabriel and George catch up to the back of him. Indeed, Gabriel is past him, and will George get past? No, he will not. However, he may have a run here. It's not close enough. Things will stay as they are. Chris and Greg of the Vanox car team making their stops. Greg coming out in 15th. Oh no, 16th, sorry, as Daniel goes straight past him on the pit exit. Jess pitting from 2nd position. Again, slightly earlier than the rest of the front runners here. Mary is 21st, however she is still running. Stephen goes wide, coming out of that right-hander again. Keir looking to move up into the points now. See Josh just making his way around in the Affroniere. The only Jess and I believe a couple of others in the top 10 have made their stop. However, Josh now making his stop from the lead. So Alex will take over the temporary lead. However, his engine may not allow him. Ema has pitted from 3rd. And there we see Alex going through with his engine seemingly damaged. I think it will be a struggle to get that back to the pits, having just gone past them. Indeed, he does seem to be slowing down now. Alex just dropping place after place. Meanwhile, Greg has been touched. And I believe that was from Will. And Greg is out of the race for Vanox. It was Will. However, I don't think Greg left Will enough room, though that may be due to Greg's lack of experience in actual races. Gabriel now holding off George for 8th position in the Sabs. And George has been run wide, chasing leaders of Stephen and Keir behind him. Ema comes right out in the middle of this battle. Gets overtaken by George, however that may disrupt things. Here we see Jess just going second. Confirmation there that Alex is out with an engine failure. Charlie pitting from 5th. Very good drive from him in the Jeff. As it is from Gabriel. And Anthony ahead of them, each of them having picked up at least 10 spots. They, of course, both will be hoping to get out in the points. Charlie does come out in 9th position in the Jeff. As does Gabriel in the Sabs. However, Matty catching right up to the back of them in the other Jeff car. Looking to get both Jeffs in the points. Chris right behind those two. George battling Stephen for 6th position here, with Keir right behind them. And Saskia's gone out. Saskia's gone out in her first race. Looks to be another engine failure. Unfortunate for the Sabs. They were doing so well, and Stephen has run wide. Stephen has clipped the corner and has run wide, allowing George to go through in the Tiamat. And Keir looking to capitalise. Anthony now pitting from 4th, having made up 11 positions from where he started. Confirmation that it was an engine failure for Saskia. Lots of engine problems here today, it seems. Stephen now pitting from 8th. Very admirable climb considering he was in 22nd after that first corner incident. Charlie looking to overtake Anthony for 7th. I believe this is for position, and Charlie's engine too has gone on fire. The Jeff team looked to be doing very well today before that. Josh still leading in the Affroniere. Has only a couple of second lead over Jess, but then Michael has 10 seconds of clear over either side of him in 3rd. And there goes Charlie. Shane, the Jeff cars were running very well today. Chris just lapping Mary there. However, she is now in between Stephen and him. Stephen does just easily get past the unnamed team car. Looking to go up the inside? No. Ooh. Chris hits the corner. Chris clips the corner. And Mary's unlapped herself from him. And Will goes wide. Will goes wide and Alba looking to capitalise here. Alba, of course, was once in 2nd position in this race, having caused that first corner incident, one would feel. Josh still leading from Jess. George hits the corner. George hits the corner and Keir goes through. Keir goes through into 5th. Having yet another great drive. And Stephen has gone wide. Stephen has gone wide where all of the other cars were going wide earlier. This may take him out of the points. Seems to be coming back on in 10th, however. Comes back on and gets touched. Stephen comes on and gets touched by Will. And Alba there. Mary's engine now is not having a good time. Chris goes back through. Now Amy looking to overtake Matty for 13th. Touches Matty and then takes the corner. Surely she overtook him on the inside there. Off of the track. Here we'll see a replay. Indeed, she just cuts the chicane and then hits him off. And then Daniel apparently deciding that it wasn't worth diving down the inside there. Josh has been leading nearly the entire race. Apart from the couple of laps when Alex was in the lead. But that was due to pit stops, and then Alex, of course, had an engine failure. Anthony trying to take 6th position from George. Does not have the run on him here. Chris trying to overtake Stephen, who's managed to get back through for 9th position. And Josh and Jess here right at the end. And Josh comes through to win the Imola Grand Prix. Excellent drive here from the Affroniere. Avoided accidents the whole way through.
Excellent drive. 6 points.
Same thing for Jess. Here we see Michael running at the podium. Emo in 4th, Keir in 5th. Anthony and George battling for 6th position. Anthony hits George, but does he get past? Yes, he does. Anthony claims 6th position here on the last lap. Gabrielle in the Sabs in her first ever race gets 8th. Stephen in 9th, having made a great climb from 22nd, and Chris 10th. Thank you for watching the Imola Grand Prix.